Master manifestors. Now, I've been around a couple of master manifestors in my life, man. And if you was to look at them, you wouldn't even know. You would think that these was just regular people. But you see, these people live outside the matrix and they ride in the wave, man. These people, they understand that the mind creates reality. Now, the first one I met, this was years ago. This was damn near 20 years ago too. I was doing bad, man. And food stamps again. You see, I was always doing bad and I was always having to go get food stamps and all of this homeless type of stuff because I was still running on the old programs. So while I'm running on this old program, I'm on 108th and Central, right across the street from the Maxine Waters School. Right across from that school is a store. And right next to that store is the 108th DPS, Department of Public Social Services, where you could get your food stamps. So people used to come out of the food stamp place, the county building, and go sell their food stamps to this guy next door. I'm going to call him Sammie. This isn't his real name, but I'm going to call him Sammie. You know what I'm saying? Now, Sammie used to buy all of the food stamps. Sammie was a Cuban. He owned that store next door. If you from Watts, you know exactly where I'm talking about. Sammie owned that store next door, and you could go up in there and you could sell all your food stamps to Sammie, right? So I met Sammie, but Sammie never used to work inside the store. He used to just sit outside, play dominoes and cards and drink, right? But he owned all of the stuff. So when I first was introduced to Sammie to sell my food stamps, he said that he liked me. So he gave me his number, and the next time I was able to come by myself. And he told me to sit down, and we was drinking. We was drinking some Ciroc and some Modelo, the beer Modelo. I don't drink, so I don't know, but I think it's pronounced Modelo. We was drinking that, right? And he started telling me about Cuba and that I remind him of his people because at that time I was one of the only people in LA with dreads besides Belizeans and a couple of people by Leimert Park, right? So he became cool. We became cool. And when I ever go sell my food stamps to him, he never used to just buy my food stamps and let me go. He'd be like, come, my friend, come with me. And we'd go to different places like Smart and Finals, like the Restaurant Depot, Sam's Club. He had all of them different types of memberships and stuff. And we used to just go, and he had a gang. He had a gang of food stamp cards too, EBT cards. And I used to get one for this store. He'd get one. And we'd just buy all types of stuff, but buy the cases though. He especially used to buy um, um, Monsters, Red Bulls, stuff like that. Even stuff like cereals, those packages of cereals with like a lot of them because he owned a couple of stores throughout Watson, throughout LA, and he used to put all of that stuff from the food stamps. Man, I'm putting you on some game, man, that Sammie told me, man, how he got $1 million, man. You feel me? But anyway, he'd get the food stamps and then he'd go. So I was working for Sammie, right? and he was putting me up on all of the game on how he created all of this stuff from coming from Cuba, and then he went to Florida, and he came around the time of what they would be talking about with the Scarface. Scarface wasn't real, but what was happening in the movie when the Cubans and stuff was coming over here and all that, he came around that time. And then he came to Florida, then he went to Texas, and then he went to Watts. You hear what I'm saying? And then he started with the food stamps. He started exchanging stuff for food stamps, the paper food stamps, and all of that, all of that. You hear what I'm saying? And he was doing what I was doing for him. Let's just say at the time I was his food stamp apprentice, right? Well, he was somebody's food stamp apprentice when he came from Texas, because he went from Miami to Texas and then here to Watts. So he was doing that, and then he got him some people that was loyal, that will sell him the food stamps every time on time. And then he thought about this building. So he went and he looked at the building, but somebody was owning the building. So he went and he introduced himself, and then he started asking questions like, how much is the square feet of the building? How old is the building? How much would a building like this cost? He was asking the person who was in the building at the time. The same building, the same store on 108th and Central. He was asking about that. Then he went and he drew it down, sketched it out, because he knew how to draw. And he sketched it out and all of that. And then he said that he saved up his money. And one day when he went up to the store, the guy was talking to another guy like about business and stuff. And then they let him interrupt him and stuff. He was going to ask more stuff about the store. And then the guy who he never seen before asked him, is he interested, because he's from the bank and all of this. And he had the exact money to put down and all of that. And he got the store in 3 months after he started inquiring about it. But he already knew how to manifest, and he knew the power of visualization from Cuba. Because you see, it's really only Americans that they go to these schools, they go to these churches and stuff, that it takes away that. Like I said, school takes away the daydreaming. When children are up in school, man, they not listening to the teacher half the time, man. They daydreaming. And this is the visualization. And he was taught that at a young age. So now he's the man in Watson. You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it. And the only reason I'm saying this is because at the time, Sammie, almost 20 years ago, Sammie was about 65. And when I seen him last, how his face was looking and different things like that, it seems like his liver was being bad, because he did used to drink every day. That good stuff. He used to drink. And he was already gray 20 years ago. So that's the only reason I'm saying that. Saying anything about Sammie. You feel what I'm saying? But then, okay, so that's Sammie. Sammie, he taught me that this is real, man. Look what I got. Look what I got from nothing. Now, it's easy to look at a person and they came from, a good home, and they were taught things, and they had the Encyclopedia Britannica in their house from A to Z. I understand if they get things in life. But somebody who comes from the dirt, from nothing, and they don't have anything in their hands, and they create $1 million off of some food stamps. Man, this is what convinced me, man. Not just this, but other things. Another millionaire. From nothing to something. This one, let me name him Julio. This is not his name. This is a real person and he got a real name, but I gotta name him Julio. Julio is from Mexico. You hear what I'm saying? Now, I was sleeping in these damn abandoned houses. Like I said, I was vibing low. This is why you can't vibe low, because you will be sleeping in abandoned houses, selling your food stamps to Sammie. You hear what I'm saying? You can't be doing that, man. Because that's what I was doing. I was vibing so low that I'm sleeping in these damn abandoned houses. And then one day, around 6 in the morning, man, I hear the door unlocking. Now, the door haven't unlocked in weeks. I got up in here. It was cool. It was clean. Now, the abandoned houses that I got in wasn't busted windows, Detroit. They still had pipes and water and shower and different things like that. You hear what I'm saying? But the doors start opening, man, and I gets up and in comes Julio. And he just as surprised to see me, man, as I am as him, man. I'm so comfortable in the damn house by this time. I got on my damn boxers, man. I got a sleeping bag and all of this stuff for the floor, man. I was cool. I was comfortable and all that. And now this little short Mexican dude is looking at me as I look at him. And he's like, hey, my friend, what's going on? And I'm like, oh man, I'm just sleeping here, you know what I'm saying? Because it was obvious that I wasn't renting the damn place out. And then he like, hey, you gotta leave and all that. And I'm like, all right, man. I knew I had warrants and stuff like that. And if he called the police, I was gonna go to jail. So I got all my stuff. And as I'm gathering my stuff, I said, hey, do you need a plumber? And then he said, yeah, I do need a plumber. You know a plumber? You know plumbing or anything? And then I said, yeah, man, I know plumbing. I got tools at my mom's house and all of this stuff, man. And then he was like, okay, my friend, we got a job today. Can you plumb now? Like, right. And you know how Mexicans is with that work. They'll do it now. I was like, yeah, let me get my tools and stuff. He said, I got a friend, he got tools and stuff. I'll pay you a little money and stuff. Just clean your stuff out, get out, and wait for me. I'm about to go around this house real quick and see what's up. And then my friend is gonna come. We waiting on him right now. He's gonna come. I'm gonna introduce you and we're gonna see what you could do. So by the end of the day, he gave me $40 because he was impressed with, I went to school for plumbing, right? So he was like, wow. So he was like, I'm gonna call you again, amigo. You good. And I'm like, all right. So like 2 days later, he called me again. Now I'm not in the abandoned house anymore. I'm just on the damn streets, right? Well, throughout the day, I hang with different homies and different things like that. And then what they call it, couch surfing. Whichever couch I could sleep on, I'll be on it. You hear what I'm saying? This is before the days of the park and all of that. So, but anyway, he called me a couple of days later and it's a job. Now I got my own tools and he's going to come pick me up because it's going to be a copper repipe. So it's me, him, and two more of his guys. And we drive and he's not a plumber. He actually is a painter and a locksmith, right? So as we drive and he like telling me like, hey man, why you homeless? You from America? And I'm like, yeah, all of this black, black and white, black people is oppressed by white people. And he said, yeah, amigo, that's not good. And I said, nah. And he said, no, that's not good for you to think because it make you homeless. And I said, how the hell do me thinking that we were slaves and all of that and we oppressed, how do that make me homeless? And he said, because it's how you think. And then I'm like, oh, this dude is for to say something about visualization, right? And he did. He was like, because all you think is the poor, for the poor people. And I'm like, what? He said, like, the civil rights and stuff is for the poor, is for the give me. The give me, it's not for the build. I'm me and my amigos, we is for the build. And you and your amigos is for the give me. And although I was mad, man, I understood what he was talking about because he was saying it, friendly like. And you understand what I'm saying? He didn't have to hire me. He could have called the police on me that day. So I'm listening to him. And then I said, yeah. And he said, for example, I'm from Mexico and all of my amigos is from Mexico. And you know the house that you was sleeping in? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, I own that house, but I never paid for that house. And I said, okay, explain this, man. Is this some type of grant or anything? He like, no, it's called adverse possession. He said it like that, but it's adverse possession. And he giving me all of this game about adverse possession. He's like, it's illegal for the cities to have abandoned houses just sitting up and collecting dust. It's illegal. So there's this law called adverse possession to where you can go and forcefully take that property. And then you go to the assessor's office. He was telling me all the game. He said, first you go and you see the abandoned house and the bank don't own it. Nobody don't own it because a lot of older people, elderlies, they die and they don't have nobody to give their house to, or it's just houses that's forgot about, that's not on the list. And then they go around the city and they look for these houses. Now, these people don't got no license. They not realtors. Julio ain't a realtor. He don't got no license for this. He is a painter and he's a locksmith, but he got the painter and the locksmith experience because he needed to add on to this. And he was about to be a plumber. So by now he's a plumber too. You hear what I'm saying? But first, when he had nothing, he was taught. And he go around LA and different places and he see these abandoned houses. And he want them to have the windows busted, not too bad, but not too good. You hear what I'm saying? And then he get these abandoned houses. Then he go to the assessor's office and he could tell if the owner is up to date because of the property taxes. So once he pay the property taxes, he get this receipt because you can get a receipt from the property taxes. Bam, that's it. Once he do that, he put a gate around it. If it don't have a gate, he put a dog up in it. He put no trespassing things up in it, and then he put his guys on the job to fixing it up. And everything that he buy, he keeps a receipt and a file for that house. And I'm like, is you jiving, man? And he said, nah, the house that we're about to go to right now, he got this one. He got like about 10 houses, man. So I started doing research on adverse possession, and it is real, man. Everything he said, from the assessor's office. and all of that. But here's the thing. You do need to go up in there with a plan and some money, because what the city wants is clean houses and stuff, because it raises the price of the other houses in the neighborhood. This is what he's telling me. I don't know anything about real estate or selling real estate or these laws or anything before he was telling me this. So you don't want to just go up in and just sleep up in the damn house, because that's considered squatting. But if you come with a paint crew, you hear what I'm saying? He used to even call the police on himself. He used to be like, yeah, there's some guys up in the yard and stuff like that. I just purchased this house. There's some guys up in my yard. I just wanted to be checked out. And he'd be parked a little bit away. He even tell the police he's parked a little bit away. When the police come, him and the police will walk up, and then the guys will introduce themselves as the paint crew that he got on Craigslist. You hearing what I'm saying? So now this is recorded. So if anybody in the neighborhood ever called the police on him or anything, people is looking out the windows. He introduced himself to the neighbors next door. It's not hidden. It's not a secret. You hear what I'm saying? I said, man, you literally find a vacant house, and it ain't got to be just too tore up, but you don't want it to be clean. You mean to tell me you find this house, pay the property taxes, start cleaning it up, get the water and the gas and all of this on, and rent it out? And he like, yeah, Mingo. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. You feel me? All this time, I thought you had to graduate from college to get $1 million, man, but that's a damn program. That's what Kanye West was telling us on the College Dropout CD, man. The same thing that Julio was telling me, bro. And I said, so what you gonna do? Just keep renting it out forever? And he said, no, I'ma sell it. And I said, no, how you sell them, man? And he said, because after 7 years, let's say California, 7 years. After 7 years, you get this deed, this ghost deed, to where if nobody come up to claim the house in 7 years after you doing all of that, the house is yours and you could sell it. Master manifestors, man, people making $1 million without anything. Visualizing it. You hear what I'm saying? He said that he was going to go to Detroit way back then. I'm pretty sure he did go to Detroit. He probably owned like 20 houses, and he taught somebody else to do it. And yes, you can make $1 million starting from nothing but visualization. And then somebody probably sitting up there like, Wormwood, why you ain't got $1 million? I said this in another video. When the visualizing the $1 million, once I'm visualizing it, it's not going to just fall in my lap. It's going to be $1 million worth of stuff that I could do. I might get six repipes in a row from big apartment buildings. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm in charge of all of that. You hear me? I might get an opportunity to appear on a movie or something like that. Somebody probably watching one of these videos and want me to be on a movie, but I have to fly to New York, and then I have to do this and do that. So that's why I'm not focused on manifesting $1 million, because I'm not ready for the work. It's not just going to fall in your lap. It's going to be the work. Even when I was Even when I took the park, I still was working. See, that's how I can tell a square. Whenever a square type of person, a person that don't even know about drugs or illegal stuff, when they say stuff like, man, it's easy to be a pimp. A pimp is lazy. Or it's easy to be a drug dealer. A drug dealer is lazy. Man, no, it ain't. No, it ain't, man. You still gotta wake up in the morning. You still gotta re-up, man. You still gotta count your money. You still gotta watch your back, man. You still gotta know how to play the game, man. It is hard. It is way more easier getting a damn 9 to 5. See, that's the illusion. You thinking that, hey man, if I get a kilo, it's gonna be easy. Man, it's gonna be harder, man. When you got a regular 9 to 5, the people around you, they ain't tripping. When you got a kilo, the people that's around you, man, you gotta watch them now. And it's different. It's always pressure, man. You hear what I'm saying? When you got them pounds of kush, when you got them trees that's coming out your door, man, you got so much. It's different, man. It's harder, man. You gotta maneuver different. You gotta talk on the phone different. Sometimes you can't talk on the phone. You hear what I'm saying? Every deal that you go to can be your last. So that's how I can always tell somebody who really don't got experience with the streets whenever they say that drug dealing or anything like that, especially on a higher level, that they lazy. Man, you gotta stay up at night, man, and all that. Can't even sleep good at times. You hear what I'm saying? Master manifestors, man. That's what it's all about. I have seen them. I have been around them. I am one of them. I manifest everything in my life. Whatever I want, I get it. And I don't be selfish with it. I'm humble with it. Thanks to all the new subscribers, all of the supporters of the channel, everybody that comment. I appreciate y'all. Peace.